All right, so Shirley, going back to the filmmaking, I don't know how I just get so get so. Mm, come on, you want to fight? Damn Agenda 21, you freaking gas tax, boom, 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 skag, knock you out, you scum. Skag are the one who's trying to get you out of your cars by taxing you every penny there. That's the Democratic Party in California. It's no secret. And because they have the supermajority, we have to break that. They want to not just tax you 65 cents per gallon they punish you for tax. Now they're talking about putting these, the smog thing, the smog test, right? They were implanting it so like people used to be able to pass it with the old cars, with a little help from the gas stations or the mechanic shop. They can't do it no more because they got so much of your tax dollars. The California politicians, they wired everything right to their bureaus. So now they can wire your car. This is very true. Wire your car, they will tax you for every mile you drive. Exactly. This is how schemy they are. They tax the shit out of you, and exactly opposite the Democrats. They're lying about, it's like for all, free for all. There's nothing free for all. You have to take it from somebody to give it to another person. And in order for them to get votes, they want to be free for all, to flood us with people who do have no love for this country, who are strangers, who are just here that they can come. And then as soon as they have a child in their hand, they will be accepted and immediately granted citizenship. And that's what these Schumer, the damn Cortez, Alexandria Cortez, so-called the darlings, she's a liar of the media. They try to promote. She's a freaking liar. She was not a poor child. She was not a poor bartender. She was rich. And then she dared to say abolish ICE and publish the Border Patrol agents' numbers, and then for us to go harass them and kidnap their kids. I mean, like Peter found out. These are sick people. They are sick people. They should be put in jail. Because if you say, I would just say to them, Peter found out, why don't you just go to the border and take in whoever you want? You said you signed for them to stay with you, to eat and live. You will care for them. If they have diseases, you treat them. Don't put it on the taxpayer. You got more money than the rest of us. We cannot barely feed ourselves. So that's the best solution for you so-called indignified pretend that we care so much. You don't care jack squat. You don't care about people in my country, people out there down the street that right now that they're kicked out their homes, and you just want to flood in with all these third world country folks that do not speak the language, that you don't know what kind of disease they have, and also ISIS and terrorists, just as long as they have a kid, all right? It doesn't matter whose kid. Could be the kid that's taught to strap bombs into the malls of America later and blow themselves up. Who cares? I don't know what's that got to do with filmmaking, but I'm just saying filmmaking is different, all right? A penny is a penny. A dollar's a dollar. Everybody's crying poverty nowadays when they do the film. Even the big films are in disguise and doing poverty. So it really hurts somebody like me because Sherilyn, was able to get good deals when I know it's 10 years ago or whatever, when I made my indie. I'm very proud of, because I had Pamarita, I had quite a few names. If you don't know, Ian Lithgow, John Lithgow's son, Ian Lithgow, he's very funny. Also have the what do you call I can't think of his name, Martin Cove, that's with Pat Morita as well. Let's see, Dean Haglund, I think he's really funny. So now I want Gary Sinise to be in the Ghost Cat. It's about the supernatural creature. It's not just about creature. They all have, everybody got their problems. They have death. This creature was a aborted child from China. How's that for you? So she's got a chip on her shoulder and talk about abandonment of the wazoo. So even though she was endowed with, as a aborted fetus, the devil was really glad to use her as a pawn to achieve his goals, to, stir up the mankind but she has all these supernatural powers where they've given her. Anyway, send off to a little gold rush town in, I would say, Tombstone Junction. I don't want to say Fillmore. That was a location I scouted with a little train. She got there in the choo-choo train. So we have to go look for the train, and the trains are not expensive. I mean, they're not cheap. The Fillmore train is like $2-3 grand a day, and that's not talking about monitor fee. And I told you I really reject the fact that so-called the monitors, a lot of times they are just headache givers, because what they do, they eat your crap, so they got nothing to do, just follow you around. A lot of times that's what happens, and try to look find fault, and maybe even shut you down if you don't suck up to them. So every time I heard the word monitor, I'm like scared shitless. If you go to film someplace, like for example, like a state property, like I was saying to you, I had it at the Sepulveda Dam. They say, oh, this ambiance is great. The so-called Japanese garden has everything that you want, has futons and etc. But I'm just saying, be careful, because they send the monitor, the fire marshals, and they, you just can't shoot. So not only ruined the ambiance, but they follow you to see if you put the nail in the wall, and then if you don't correct it, they basically hold up the production. Maybe that's just my experience. I don't know if that happens to some other people. I'm sure it has. So I'm very wary of anything that's got involved with the city, the government, or whatever. Because the government, what do you like it about the government? The government wants to impoverish you so they can control you. They want to put you all on freaking welfare, and this way that you rely on the government is your God, you see, and they would prefer you stay poor in bondage, and they put you in this boxes like the megaplex. They love to do that so they can control you instead of you spread out in your urban homes. That's the way that it was, and it's just gradually, because of the Agenda 21, the UN agenda is flooding with more and more people. They call them immigrants. They're not immigrants, they're just invaders. I mean, how dare you? It's rude, because I'm an immigrant and I went in line and paid a lot of money and did it properly, filled forms, had tests and whatever. Not that I'm better. I'm just saying, you're insulting all the immigrants who are taking their tickets. You know how it is when you go to even a Jewish deli. You don't, follow the line, take the tickets, and you jump in front of other people. They're freaking, they'll bark at you. But this is okay, open border, according to Alexandria Cortez and according to Nancy Pelosi. Like, you're so dignified because everybody have a child, and you don't know where that child belongs to that guy or whatever. So you're gonna take him 50 million or 250 million of them and grant them green card citizenship. I'm just saying, where do you actually have any sanity at all? I mean, you can't do that. You cannot run a household. You'll have like 2 mouths to feed, and without a budget. I mean, you can't just say, I have 2 mouths to feed, but sure, give me 2,000 of yours. I mean, there's got to be sanity. Our streets are already, it's not just the property value. We already seen the devastation here, because San Francisco is also a town of shithole, of feces. Why? Because of fucking politicians. And that's why Donald Trump is not a politician. That's why I love him. He's really a patriot. He wants to save us. So this bullshit Mueller, all this swamp thing, you get out of the way. Rosenstein, get out of the way. I don't know why Jeff Sessions, he was so passionate when he was running it for the Trump campaign, and I don't know what got to them. But DOJ, I said, if you're in F, get out of the way. Let's get somebody who can actually run the business. So I like that line, you're fired. And then, we'll get somebody else who can do the job. You don't want to do the job and protect us people, then get out of the way. So with the ghost cat, I guess it goes back to, I don't know how I got on all these topics, but I was just going to tell you my experience of the screening. when I had the honor to go see it. I mean, I don't know their whatever their political point of view or whatever, but I just want to say, like, this is my, my true opinion. Whatever's worth, it might be worth nothing. Maybe I was seeing a little bit of bullying when I grabbed the executive producer. I didn't grab him, but I was just like the writer and the director, Steven Susko. I just go, oh my God, is there another ending? Because I heard there was another ending. Because this Unfriended is supposed to be a sequel. And I go back to the screening I had the pleasure to see. And I was going to make this video, but I couldn't because somehow the spirit of this Unfriended Chiron organization, that was really scary. Like, grab hold of my phone. I couldn't videotape anything because it would auto-dial people. And then it would use clips of YouTube videos and say, we're going to come get you. And, and I was just going, no, that's a scene, part of the scene. But it is totally plausible. That's believable. Because you can put clips of people's voices that you can grab from YouTube. And then you auto-dial the police. Well, this has happened. And I think that he got the idea. Somebody pranked another person on game nights and said that, oh, this guy's going to plan a shootout at the mall. So the police bust into his door and shot him. I mean, poor guy was in his house. So this is like that. And, AJ, one of the characters. I don't want to forget to give credit to Chris Davis. This guy is a genius. I mean, I don't want to use that word except for Bill Belichick. And, a couple other times, and besides myself, Mick Garris. But he's a genius. Because there's no budget. I know. Well, you said if it's got a big distribution, why is there no budget? So that's why you have to be aware. A lot of times these indies, they can get away with stuff, and that's probably not good for me because I can't get away with shit. I'm truly poor, but everybody's crying poverty. So now the vendors like going, oh, we don't care. We just want, we want our money. We want our $5,000 or whatever, because you might have a big distributor. So basically, there's this humongous distributor has all the money, but they're saying, well, we're just gonna go out with the indie label. So, everybody gets like peanuts. Unless you're SAG, because SAG has clout, you see. But I would say this is a little unfair to other unions, but because they have no presence, it means that you have no leverage. So even a big film, your people are poor. I mean, people that are paying dues to the union. I don't want to just say it's a union's fault, but a lot of these unions, they have no leverage because if they cannot use you for $75, they cannot hire you for $75. They'll hire, some people off the streets. You see what I'm saying? So the production value is compromised that way. But, I'm just saying, as talented as my friend was, my God, he got nothing. Literally, he just got in a day's worth. But hoping the name would get out, that would help him to build not just his resume, his experience or whatever, but to step up to another level. When I say another level, is called above the line. So if you didn't know that, if you're not above the line in a movie production, it's not like I'm putting you down by saying you're below the line. But usually they say the crew, the people that do the hard work, the laborers, right? By setting the lights, you got to hang a picture there. You see all these things, right? Putting the bullet hole through the wall, lights and different lights, a can of dog food, for example. Those are below the line, and above the line is like the thinkers, the people that use their movie magic and write the script. And anyway, so you have to be on the creative side. There's no easy way. It's a big struggle, a huge amount of supply, but very few people actually see any of their dreams come true. So that's why the indie world is born. A lot of people that can make indie films because it's easy, it's cheap with equipment and all that. So the market is flooded. That's why you can't get good distribution. It's a vicious cycle because the distributor will come in and snatch them up for nothing. So basically, you want your film to get distributed so badly, you signed away your freaking birthright and hoping for another deal. But is that ever going to happen, or are you still going to be in povertyhood, right, for the rest of your life? I'm just saying, a lot of people are willing to take that chance. So my advice to you is, of course, you want to pat yourself, by the grace of God, pat yourself, get your script together. And I don't know how much money you want to pay for a script consultant and all that kind of stuff. I got somebody to refer you to. No, I mean, really, if you don't have the exceptional skill or exceptional story where they can be shot and distributed easily, it's a huge strike against you. So, and I'm not trying to say just forget about it. I'm just saying you have to count your costs before you go to battle. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? You can't go to a battle like facing a million people with like 2 cats. So you have to figure this out and then get your cast together. The more the merrier. I'm not saying this is the formula that you have to get name Christopher Walken's, or I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be Tom Cruise, but this is how the indie world sometimes really seem like spy versus spy boils down to it, that people just try to find, oh, this is so and so, some big star, Tom Arnold eats at this cafe, and you throw the script at them. Say, come on, call me. I know there's all kinds of extremes or whatever to get your movie made. I mean, I understand all that. And, I'm patting myself on the back because I'm a Trump supporter. I was first a Ted Cruz supporter, but, God is right. God is always good. God is good. He saw it. This was the 11th hour. Midnight strikes. We're going down. Our ship is sinking. And, we're still on the life raft. We just can't, now the whole ship is going to sink. You're going to sink us with, 250 million people? How many are you going to take in? Really? How many mouths you have to feed, and how many terrorists that is going to be amongst them, and then kill your children, rape your women. So we've seen that. They don't talk about it. Under the DACA, so-called Obama DACA, 60,000 of them was convicted of criminal records. And there's some more murderers. So they're like roaming around free. Hey, let's hang out and get the EBT and get everything, public housing and welfare and even insurance in California. We pay for their fucking insurance. You pay for their lawyers, so because they have the right to stay here. So we have to have funds. If you didn't know, in California, your tax dollar, that's why your tax is the highest and it's not enough. It's like, whoosh, give us some more. Pay more gas taxes. Now we're going to put a meter in your car. Every mile you drive, we're going to tax you. That's the freaking Democrats you elected. All right? How do we get rid of them? Go fucking vote in November. Go vote and get those fucking Democrats that are so freaking fat cats, SCAG, these border people, get them out of here. I don't care. Get somebody else. I don't care. I don't want you to say, oh, Republicans just as bad. You get the old fat cats out and see what happens. And then what you have got to lose, huh? You want to be down this road so they can freaking strangle you with more taxes? That's what you want? Don't fucking bring me into it, all right? I'm trying to save your asses. Well, it's just because I live in California. I'm very close to all these. I'm very aware of the sensitive environment because nobody speaks English anymore. They look down on me, actually. I said, I don't understand the Spanish. And they look at, well, you don't speak Spanish. Like, something wrong with me. I mean, nothing wrong with me. We're in the United States of America. And don't fucking laugh at me. Because I want language. I want the border. I want the culture, the founding father. And don't forget that. That's why they try to make them look all bad. And we want to take down this statue, that statue. No. That's a freaking lie. I would not for 1 second buy into it. Then they try to sell it to you. Oh, discrimination. This is bullshit. Oh, it's racist. All right. How many times are you going to play that fucking card? Drop it. It's bullshit. Nobody going to buy it. So, talk about race cards. I did not play that in the I don't intend to in this Ghost Cat, the movie I'm making. So let's just say we want to make it fun, a fantasy, and non-political. Because why people don't want to see movies, to be persuasive of some kind of political agenda, whatever it is. Just like sports. LeBron James should not be preaching to us how he hates Trump. Just play the fucking basketball, all right? Play ball, or otherwise I'm gonna tune you out. In fact, I'm gonna boycott the NFL this year. I'm not gonna get the Sunday ticket, all right? Whatever, whatever it takes. I'm turned off as well. So what was I saying? It was my phone went crapped. It was like auto dialing people. It was auto downloading shit that I don't even have. Seriously, it kept saying you'll have to press the next, accept, and download. Oh, what? I never ordered this gear thing. And then I tried to go back to the settings, and I tried to delete and uninstall, and wipe out the memory. It kept coming back, and I go, oh my god, my phone is possessed. And I can see the possibility of that so-called the hackers can take over your instruments and pretend they're you, and dialing, take clips of you on YouTube. Oh, I gotta be aware, don't you do that without my permission. And they can call 911 and send cops to your homes. I mean, that is all very real. So I guess you can understand. I was a little spooked. So that's why I didn't talk about this Unfriended, the dark web, right after the premiere. But my bottom line is, I just I kind of like I was pulling this Rondo. Rondo is the monster in Ghost Cat. I was like, hey, why is it everybody like there's no hero? Everybody. Even the so-called the hero guy, Matthias, was brutally murdered in the end. I know, not to say that all the victims are women in the so-called the snuff filmed files from the bad guys, the organization called Chiron, and they supposedly pay millions of dollars to have, this group of people to capture, kidnap women, they're all women, and torture them, kill them. But I guess the good thing is even though it's horrifying, the thought of it is, and it's very degrading, but there was no blood. Okay, so we see a tank, which they actually shot in the same house. It's like a survival, sort of survival artist, I call them artists, in the yard. So they have the storage tanks, and you open one of the top, and then you see the eye looking out. So it's horrifying, like there's a prisoner, someone's being tortured in there. But all these I learned they were impromptu shoots just from that same house. So I had to say that's a genius. Everything was almost shot except for some warehouse, and even a warehouse in downtown. They used that. Even some of the shots, I think that, they got it for free. It gives me encouragement that, we can do this. We can go down to the metro and just use the cell phone. And why do I need a permit? You know what I'm saying? Who wants to go through the process and go through, everybody wants to avoid the government. So that just shows you that if we can avoid the freaking government, we will. We will resist the government, because it's not about filing the permit for thousands of dollars. It's you got to wait for the monitor to sign to check everything. That's hours and hours, and just time freaking wasted. So I think it's a genius to be able to do films without the encroachment of these so-called permit. Anyways, that's genius. But my biggest disappointment still lies at why was not there a hero. Maybe that's just me. I'm good old fashioned. I think after all, I'm serious about this. The leading woman who is disabled, because I think that she has a issue like not hearing or something. She was dumb or deaf or dumb or something like that. Which creates drama, because when Matthias, the boyfriend, yelled at her, through the screen that she can't hear, like, listen to me, right? So through the Skype, and I think she cannot hear, so she has to come and do the signs later. So that adds the drama to it. I really like that, and that's the more we need to save those characters and make the hero the hero. That's what, it's over and done, but that's just my 2 cents worth. I heard that there might be another outcome out there, but it would have been me. I would think that maybe I speak for a lot of women. I mean, I'm not conventional as far as other women goes. I don't think the same way, like, oh, we gotta have the romantic ending. But to have Matthias, or the supposed hero, brutally killed, bang, ran over by a van, and also the hope of Damon, who's the supposed the genius of gamers and all the computer whizzes, and who had the IP addresses of the bad guys, and then they hung him, and then also plant the evidence on the other guys. You know what I'm saying? So that just I know it's the script, and it's not real life, but that just cannot did not make my day, so to speak. Okay, that was it.